Hey, how you doing? Justin here. Today we're going to continue our adventure looking at playing major scales in thirds. Specifically today we're going to look at pattern 2 and pattern 3. Pattern 2's got a couple of things about it that can be really sticky. So a little bit of this lesson is going to be about problem solving and looking at different ways of approaching something when you come across something that's difficult, because you can keep battling something that's hard or you can look for an easier way. We'll talk about that in a close-up in a second. But before we get to the close-up, I just want to mention, if you really dig my videos and you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do. It looks statistically like there's like 70 or 80% of people watching my videos are not subscribed to my channel. It really makes a big difference, and I'd really appreciate it if you can go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you dig what I do. I'm working real hard for you and lots of really exciting things coming up. So let's get to that close up and check out how to play the scale. Okay, so here's pattern 2 of the major scale straight. Now let's start playing it in thirds and see what happens. So now here straight away you would normally play that with the second finger and have to play that with the first finger, but you can kind of do it at a slow speed, but if you try and get that much faster, it gets into a real tangle. There might be some guys that can do it, and that would be fine. Really doesn't work for me to do second finger and then first finger underneath in the same fret. So the solution for me for this one is here. You can use a first finger roll. That puts me next to third finger roll, then first, fourth. We're back to something relatively simple. So there is the first thing that you need to be aware of. Same here again, roll. Now we're all good. Now we're not, because the next note is here. And doing a jump with the little finger is very difficult. So what do we do here? We've got, that's all fine still. Now the problem is this. Now, the solution that I always thought for this particular pattern was moving to my third finger on that note, which is, it's still awkward. Yeah, third finger. It has to stretch out. I made it look harder than it is there, but there's still a bit of a jump getting from that second finger to the third finger like that. I mean, I don't have a great stretch between my second and third fingers. Most people don't. So that is a really awkward thing. But there's not many other solutions there if you're going to stay in pattern 2. Now, is it here, again, from the third finger to the second finger? I think, that for me, as a whole pattern, is all right. So this kind of technical problem where there's a melodic line that you want to play but the fingering is pretty awkward is the kind of thing that you're going to encounter a bit in your guitar playing life. I mean, the options here of having this little finger do a bit of a jump is pretty awkward. Stretching from the second finger to the third finger and doing it cleanly is also pretty awkward. But there's another solution, which is to move this note to there. Now if we do that, it's actually nothing's difficult at all. And we can continue that whole line right down to the lower octave. Now, what we've done though is move to a different scale system. So I always teach the 5 pattern system, and this is part of the 3 note per string system, which is an excellent system unto itself. It's not something that I think you should do one or the other. The reality is that you should be doing both. But I think it's better to start with the 5 pattern system and learn all about that, and then break into the 3 note per string system and use that to link between the 5 pattern shapes. That's kind of how I see it. It's very individual. Some people much prefer the 3 note per string system right from the get-go. But I don't. I like it to the scales to sit around the chord shapes. But that's the one solution. That's probably what I would do now. The chances of me going like in any context other than a teaching video is very small. It's just awkward under my fingers. Why would I want to do that? You know. So probably you as well will want to think about moving down there to that other pattern. It's only a minor variation. Again, I'll put some links up on the website. Pattern 3, however, fits under the fingers really nicely. Okay, you've got a couple of options when you turn around as well, when you're changing direction. I sometimes prefer playing that top note twice. In this particular case, it works just as well to play the top note just once. So what's actually happening here, we've hit that top note, then we're just going down one step. So we're starting the kind of descending line from that note, rather than going. Okay, so if we double the highest note, if we don't double the highest note, okay, there's a couple of different options there. Both of them are fine. It just depends on how it is you feel about playing the scale, really, and how it feels under your fingers and how you might actually practically use it. So as you can see, we've got a little bit of problem solving to do there in pattern 2, and in pattern 3 I introduced this idea of the way to turn it around, that there's different options as to whether you play the top note twice or not. That's not the only options as well. There might be some others that you find of different ways of turning a pattern around when you're playing. As I suggested in the first video, there's quite a few of these kind of number games that you can apply to scales, and it can be quite fun, nice way of kind of breaking your fingers out of playing scales just up and down. So get yourself really, really comfy with pattern 2 and pattern 3, and then join me for another video and I'll take you through patterns 4 and 5, which have also got some little quirks about them as well. See you for that very soon. Bye bye.